So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs in a short span of time. Now, needless to say this, that you have to revise this lecture just after watching it, because just watching this lecture would be job half done. You'll quickly forget these current affairs. Therefore, you need to solidify them in your memory, and you can do that by revising these current affairs from the notes provided by us on our Telegram channel. The link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below. Okay? So let's begin today's lecture, but first let's take a look at the list of topics that we shall cover. Okay, so let's begin. So daily current affairs, 30th of October, Thursday, and here is the topics list. So number one topic is foreign capital and Indian banks. More and more foreign banks are entering India and foreign companies are acquiring Indian banks. This means that in the Indian financial industry, FDI, foreign direct investment, is increasing. So we'll talk about this. Then, you all know that Election Commission of India has announced that after Bihar, special intensive revision shall be conducted pan-India. Okay, and they have announced 12 states where this exercise would be conducted. So, well, SIR is purification of electoral rules. We'll talk about this. And recently, Ministry of Coal has launched KOYLA SHAKTI dashboard using e-governance or digital interventions to improve the efficiency of coal sector. Okay, so these are the three topics. Topic number one is related to economics portion of your UPSC syllabus. Topic number two is related to polity portion of your UPSC syllabus. And topic number three is again related to economics portion of your UPSC syllabus. So let's start discussing them one by one. Okay, starting with topic number one, and that is foreign capital and Indian banks. So in the recent times, there have been so many deals where foreign businessmen are acquiring Indian banks. Okay, that means foreign capital is entering Indian financial industry. And it's not just Indian banks. Other companies, other financial companies like insurance companies and other financial NBFCs, they are also being acquired by foreign capitalists. Okay, this means one thing, that Indian market, Indian financial market is becoming more and more attractive for these foreign investors. And this is good news for India because that means more and more foreign direct investment would come to India. This is good news, very good news. But this also has some downsides, some risks, some problems. Okay, so we will look at this topic. We will look at the advantages, why is India attractive, and some disadvantages as well. All right, so let's begin. So foreign capital and Indian banks. So what was in the news? So global financial giants are increasingly acquiring stakes in Indian banks, insurers, NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, signaling a transformation in India's financial sector and increased foreign investor confidence. So this means that foreign investors are confident about India's financial market. And why are they confident? Well, because India's financial sector is robust. This is a good signal that people find India's financial sector good. Okay, so this is good news. Now, the proof of this assertion lies in the fact that certain big deals were conducted recently. Okay, Blackstone, a financial company, acquired a stake in Federal Bank. Emirates NBD acquired a stake in RBL Bank. SMBC acquired Yes Bank. Zurich Insurance acquired Kotak General Insurance. Okay, so these mega deals were recently conducted. Now, why are these foreign investors finding or are being attracted to Indian markets? What's so special about Indian financial markets? Okay, so let's talk about India's attraction. So number one, India's financial sector is the largest by net income. India's financial sector is huge. And as far as the income generated by this financial sector is concerned, as far as this point is concerned, well, India's financial sector is one of the largest in the world. So there is good money-making opportunity for these foreign investors, okay? Because India's financial sector is huge and is growing, okay? Then, well, government conducted various reforms and liberalized this sector. Earlier, foreign companies were not allowed to invest in Indian banks, Indian financial companies. But slowly and gradually, Government of India is opening it up. We have allowed 100% investment in insurance companies, 100% FDI in insurance, okay, 74%, up to 74% in banks. So all these regulations were brought in to liberalize the sector. So they are coming now. Plus, India's financial market is going to grow in future. Why? Because still 400 million Indians are underbanked. In future, they will be banked. Okay, they will avail banking opportunities. That means 400 million of untapped market still exists in India. We have not exhausted everyone. So these foreign investors are looking at this. Okay, Then robust credit growth, more and more people are borrowing, which is profitable for banks. Okay, loans are profitable for banks, and loan growth is increasing in India, driven by small businesses. More and more startups are coming and they're borrowing from banks, retail loans, housing sectors. Plus, these foreign companies are giants in their own countries, but they want to diversify to different geographical locations. And what better geographical location than India, which has good financial sector, untapped market, credit growth. So they are looking for strategic advantage. Make sense? Now, the thing is, well, this is all good. This will bring in the much needed FDI into India. But there are certain problems also that are involved in this. What are those problems? Risks and challenges. First of all, loss of control. Increased foreign ownership may lead to offshore strategic decisions. Currently, Indian banks are owned by Indians. They are living in India. Okay. But when these banks would be owned by foreign entities, major strategic financial decisions would be taken outside India. And it would be very difficult to control them. Currently, RBI is still able to control Indian banks. Then it won't be able to control them properly. Okay. Making misalignment with Indian policy priorities. Okay. What if India wants to increase credit in infrastructure, but these foreign entities don't want to do that? So this is the thing, misalignment with Indian policy priorities. This is there because you have made financial decision making up. I mean, India's financial decision making would go outside India. Okay, this is there. Then what if one of these financial institutions, big financial institutions, suffer a huge loss in their own country? When they'll suffer a huge loss in their own country, they would try to extract as many resources from India as possible because now they own Indian banks as well. So vulnerability to global shocks. Global shocks will impact Indian banks as well because now foreign banks and Indian banks are connected. Earlier we were protected. Whatever happened in USA did not impact that much our Indian financial sector. Okay. Then comparative imbalance. Some of these banks which will acquire Indian banks, they would have deep pockets of cash. And our own Indian banks, wholly owned Indian banks, won't be able to compete with them. This is an issue. And regulatory safeguards needed. RBI needs to come up with stricter regulations so that these things don't happen. Clear? But there are going to be benefits as well. For example, India is expected to require increasing capital inflows in banking, insurance, credit as it targets 7 trillion GDP 2030. So we need healthy banking, insurance, credit sector, right? We need investments in that if we really want to become $7 trillion economy by 2030. And this will help us do that. Okay. Foreign participation is both a boon for capital and technological infusion. These people will bring in new technology also into Indian banks. But maintaining regulatory oversight and financial independence is crucial. Okay. The test for policymakers is to channel foreign capital to strengthen, not undermine India's long-run financial sovereignty and systemic stability. Okay. We need financial sovereignty. That means India's financial sector should be under India's rules and regulations and India's decision making. Right? So this is the thing. All right. Now let's move on to next news item, and that is SIR, Special Intensive Revision. Now we have talked about SIR exercise before also in our previous current affairs lectures. Okay. The thing is, Election Commission of India is tasked with or has the job of updating electoral rolls. What are electoral rolls? Voter list, right? They have this job of updating electoral rolls. Now, there are two types of updations, basically three types of updations. Okay. One is continuous updation. So as soon as you will turn 18, you will apply at Election Commission and they will add your name to the voter list. This is continuous updation. Someone dies, so his name would be deleted from the list. Continuous updation. Then every year, they do normal revision. Okay. This is known as special summary revision. That is done every year. And then after 10 years or 15 years, they do special intensive revision, in which they will create electoral rolls from scratch again by doing door-to-door surveys properly. Like they are creating electoral rolls from the start. This is special intensive revision. And special intensive revision is done to purify electoral rolls because Election Commission doubts that there are certain people who are included in voters list but are not citizens of India. Certain illegal migrants have been added to voters list. This undermines our democracy. Therefore, we need to purify our electoral rolls. Right? So that is why special intensive revision was announced in the state of Bihar before the elections. And then Election Commission announced that we are going to conduct this exercise all over India. Now, after Bihar, Election Commission has announced the names of 12 states where this exercise would be conducted next. Okay, so let's talk about the procedure, the officers involved in this exercise. Clear? Okay, these are some basic facts that you should be aware of because an MCQ might be created out of it. Okay, so let's take a look. So special intensive revision. So like I told you, okay, Election Commission has the job of updating electoral rolls. Right? Now there are three types of revisions. Number one is continuous updation. Okay, this is done continuously. Number two is special summary revision. This is done every year. So the previous voter list is taken and then it is looked at comprehensively. Special summary revision, this is conducted annually every year. And then there is special intensive revision. This is done once every 10 or 15 years. And in this, you do a comprehensive door-to-door survey to create the voters list from scratch. Clear? Now, what was in the news? The Election Commission is conducting a nationwide second phase of SIR of electoral rolls beginning October 28th in 12 states following previous controversial SIR in Bihar. It was controversial. You all know about it. We have discussed about it as well. The controversy part as well. The nationwide SIR incorporates several procedural improvements and a softer approach. You know, the controversial elements of Bihar SIR have been removed. Okay, so that this SIR that is being conducted in 12 states is the least controversial. Okay. Now, which officers would be involved? First of all, remember that this is special intensive revision. Okay, this would involve door-to-door household surveys. Proper surveys would be done so that each and every genuine Indian citizen's name is listed on the voters list or electoral rolls. Okay. Now, which officers are involved? Okay, key officers. So number one is booth level officer who is in charge of one booth. Okay, in that booth, well, there is a particular locality that has a booth, okay, voting booth. Well, this booth level officer is in charge of that locality. Okay, the person responsible for one polling booth, generally one polling booth contains 1,000, 1,500 voters. Okay, then above him is electoral registration officer. He manages the entire constituency. He or she manages the entire constituency. One constituency might have many booths, right? So electoral registration officer. Then above him, by the way, remember this ERO and BLO. They are responsible for electoral rolls. Okay. Then above him is district magistrate. Here's first appeals if anyone disagrees with ERO's decision. Suppose ERO has removed your name from the voters list and you don't agree with that. So you can appeal with the district magistrate. And if you're not satisfied with the decision taken by district magistrate, you can file a second appeal with chief electoral officer, and chief electoral officer is the highest election official in one state. Clear? Now, what is the normal procedure for this exercise? So first phase is enumeration phase. So each voter will get a pre-printed form or they can fill the forms online. Okay. So they will fill their forms and details in that. Then distribution by BLOs, booth level officers, will visit every home up to 3 times to deliver and collect the forms. Voters can also fill form online. Then they would match your name with previous voter list. That would be done. Filling and submission of forms, and then verification stage would come. So initial is enumeration phase where form filling is done, and then verification by ERO and assistant ERO. Here proper verification is done, document verification is done. So this is the normal procedure. That's about it. Okay. Now let's move on to third topic of the day, which is very simple. Okay. And that is KOYLA SHAKTI dashboard. Now, KOYLA SHAKTI dashboard is not a detailed topic. Okay. It's a very simple topic. So we won't be spending that much time on it. Okay. KOYLA SHAKTI dashboard is basically government's digital initiative through which we will streamline our entire coal sector, coal production, coal transportation, coal sale, okay, coal distribution, everything would be streamlined on this one single dashboard. This is KOYLA SHAKTI dashboard, which was launched by Ministry of Coal and Mines. Okay, Ministry of Coal. Now, along with this, another portal was launched called the CLAMP portal. So we will take a look at both these portals, their key features, and that's about it. Okay, some advantages also would be looked at. Clear? That's all you need to know. All right, so let's begin. So KOYLA SHAKTI dashboard. So what was in the news? Union Minister of Coal and Mines launched two transformative digital platforms, KOYLA SHAKTI Dashboard and Coal Land Acquisition Management and Payment, CLAMP portal. Okay. The event marks another milestone in ministry's journey towards efficiency, transparency, data-driven governance in the coal sector. So first, let's talk about KOYLA SHAKTI portal. Okay. So KOYLA SHAKTI Dashboard is a unified smart coal analytics platform launched by Ministry of Coal in October 2025. It provides real-time monitoring and analytics of coal production. Okay. So everywhere in India, wherever coal is being produced, you can monitor through this dashboard from which place this coal block or this coal consignment is being transported to which place. Transportation can be mapped, real-time data can come. Logistics, how many trucks are involved, dispatch, consumption, where is this coal being consumed. Okay. Integration of over 48 APIs, application program interface, basically connecting your app, and data from 15 ports of India to provide a comprehensive view of coal supply chain. Basically, the idea behind this KOYLA SHAKTI is to put the entire supply chain of coal online, where anyone can see whatever is happening at any point in this supply chain, at the production point, consumption point, transportation point, distribution point, anywhere. You can find data from anywhere. All this data related to coal will be available in one single place. Okay. So this will allow data-driven decision making for politicians and IS officers. Okay, they would be able to take better decisions because now they have data and real-time data. With tools for demand forecasting, there are tools, AI tools, which will help you to do forecasting as far as demand is concerned. Will demand rise or fall? Policy formulation, industry, incident alerts, any accidents and all. Now, what is the significance? Acts as a comprehensive decision support system, promotes transparency and accountability. Obviously, now every data is available. Improves coordination between coal companies, railways, ports, and other stakeholders because all their data would be at one single place. So it will allow better coordination. Supports Digital India mission, enhances transparency, accountability. There we are repeating ourselves. Now let's talk about CLAMP portal. Okay, so Coal Land Acquisition Management Payment portal. Now, as the name suggests, well, to get coal, to produce coal, you have to mine coal. To mine coal, first you have to acquire the land, then you have to lease it, manage it, and do certain payments, lease payments, okay, royalty and all. So this would be handled by this one single portal. It is a centralized digital solution for managing land acquisition, compensation, because you have acquired land from farmers, so you have to pay them compensation, R&R process in coal bearing areas, okay. So this will be integrated across all PSUs, government companies, end-to-end digital workflow, central repository. All the data would be available at central database. Okay, that's about it. Clear? And that would be all. Today's lecture is short because there were only 3 topics of significance. So that is why we are going to end this lecture at this topic only. Okay, that would be all from my side, guys. Now, I hope it has added value to your preparation. In fact, I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But it would add more value if you are consistent and regular with this lecture series. So you do that, and I shall see you next time with another set of news items. Thank you, everyone.